This is Performance Anxiety on the Pantheon Podcast Network, and I'm your host, Mark. Today's guest is plural. I'm fortunate to be joined by the entire band, The Problem with Kids Today, just before they hit the stage. Tate, Silas, and Reena talk about the music that inspired them, some early band experiences, and how this band came together. Tate tells me about their unusual name, their less unusual previous band name, and gelling as a band because of COVID. These guys are self-described goofballs who have a lot of fun with their music. They've got a new album out called Take It. It's an energetic blast of crazy, fun punk rock with a few left turns sprinkled in. Make sure you check it out on streaming platforms, but if you're like me and need physical copies, check out Bandcamp. Give them a follow on Instagram at The Problem with Kids Today. Follow us at PerformanceANX on socials. Get our merch at performanceanx.threadless.com. Send coffee money through ko-fi.com/performanceanxiety. And you can still get a copy of the Spinal Tap tribute album with 35 Spinal Tap covers at teencanceramerica.org. Click the shop button and it'll be right there. Now prepare for a high energy talk with Tate, Silas, and Reena of The Problem with Kids Today on Performance Anxiety on the Pantheon Podcast Network.
Okay, yes. All right.
Do you want to do it?
You got it.
All right. Hello, we are The Problem with Kids Today, and you're listening to Performance Anxiety Podcast. Come listen to our new album, Take It.
Woo!
Yeah.
Perfect, man. There we go. What's going on?
Hello.
Man, this is awesome. I wasn't expecting to have all three of you. This is fantastic.
Yeah, got the whole group.
The way I like to start things is to find out how music became so important to you in the first place. So, is the entire band from Connecticut? Is everybody from basically the same area?
Pretty much, yeah. Me and Tate grew up together, like in the same town, and Reena's from a town called Stratford, which is like 20 minutes down the road.
Oh, okay. So, when I think of Connecticut, I don't. Honestly, this is gonna sound weird. I don't think of punk rock, to be honest with you. I think of, and this is only from research because this isn't. I'm not big into this dude, but I think of Michael Bolton and Rivers Cuomo.
Yep.
So,
yeah, it's a little yacht rocky out here,
Exactly.
Everyone loves the Dead and John Mayer, in like a lot of the state.
Yeah, it's a bit of a jam band capital.
That makes a lot of okay. I have that. Yeah. That is ringing a bell. But so, what is the scene like there for punk rock? Is there a big scene?
Well, I wouldn't say a big scene, but in New Haven, where we are right now, it's a pretty, rough city. So there's always been a punk rock kind of element to it. I remember going back to like the 80s, like our family, me and Tate's like family were in bands, back in the 80s, like punk bands, like power pop bands, jangle pop, it has a kind of a rich history of rock and roll. New Haven does.
Okay. All right. So Silas, how did music become important to you? Was there a lot of it growing up? I mean, were your parents big into it?
Yeah. Listen to like a lot of the Beatles growing up. One of my earliest like music memories is watching like Yellow Submarine. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And my mom and my dad putting me on to all the music they liked, just like playing it in the car, stuff like that. It was always just kind of like around.
Rita, what about you? Was music big in your family?
Yeah, kind of. My dad plays all the instruments, guitar, drums, bass. And so he basically taught me drums first. And then I started music back in my former church, but that's how I learned how to play drums.
Yeah.
And then over time, I was like starting to get into like rock music in my high school years, and even my dad like introduced me to some like bands like Metallica and Led Zeppelin and Pink Floyd and those kind of bands.
Your dad's awesome.
So, yeah.
Your dad's the best.
For rock star too.
That's amazing. So, Tate, what about you? Was it big in your household?
Yeah, for sure. We're all just products of our parents, for sure. my dad is a big rocker, and he used to be in bands and stuff actually back in the day, like Silas was saying. So that was definitely a big influence on me growing up, and big music loving family. My mom is a rocker as well, so yeah, they definitely kind of paved the way for us to start rocking for sure.
So was guitar your first instrument, or was there something else, like in a school band or something?
I actually started for like a year playing bass just for the sole purpose of playing in a band, but quickly switched over to guitar because, I don't know, I didn't feel much like a bass player, So I'm too much of a loudmouth.
So, Reena, you already answered that question, so I'm going to hop over to Silas. What about you? Was bass the first thing, or was it guitar or something else?
Technically, I took piano lessons as a kid, but I was really bad. Tate actually taught me bass, the rudiments. Like, we were trying to record in his room, in high school, and he had a bass, and he was like, "Do you want to play bass?" And I was like, "I can try, man. I don't know." But he taught me the basics, and then we kind of took it from there, and we've been just kind of playing together ever since.
So the music really kind of started with you two guys then.
Yeah. So even before this band, Silas and I had a band, funny enough, called Tate and Silas.
How did you guys come up with that?
Yeah, I know, right? It's pretty crazy, but we were just kind of a funny two-piece punk, almost kind of weirdo rock kind of outfit where I played guitar and sang, and Silas played bass, and he played a kick drum with his feet while playing. So we were very DIY kind of band, yeah.
Oh, that is cool.
So yeah, we definitely started, and then it was we kind of progressed, and we're like, we gotta do the real thing now, and that's where we scouted out Reena and recruited her to the crazy circus.
So Tate, was singing something that you always wanted to do, or was it something that you just decided you had to do because it was just the two of you?
Yeah, totally out of necessity. I still, I don't even consider myself much of a singer still to this day, I feel like we just do it because, gotta do it. But yeah, I've definitely grown to love it, though, more and more.
Oh, that's awesome. So how did you guys meet up and discover Reena?
We played a show together in one of Reena's other bands at this DIY space in New Haven, and we weren't like looking for a drummer at the time, but it was oh damn, she's really good. And then we talked a little bit, and we got along, and then when it came time to make the jump up to getting a real drummer and trying to make some actual music, she was, the short list was one name. It was just her. She was kind of our first in because if she wasn't gonna do it, then we probably wouldn't have a drummer. You know what I mean?
Oh wow.
Yeah, it was it's got to be Reena. You know what I mean?
Oh, that is
and
awesome.
Thankfully, Reena was quickly on board, so it all came together naturally.
So, Reena, what kind of music were you playing before you got it? Was it you got into the band? Was it still punk?
I just my first band was sort of more like an indie rock, a little bit of psychedelic here and there, but it's more like indie rock.
Okay.
And then I got into another side project from Dad, which was more we were still getting into what our style was, but it was pretty indie rock, but with heavier elements to it.
Okay.
And I'm in another band, and it's more rock and psychedelic. So I'm more on the heavier side of music, I would say.
Okay, so you kind of run the gamut, though. So you can pretty much, I mean, it sounds like you can play basically whatever somebody's asking you to play.
I think so. I mean, I kind of have
She can. She's being modest.
I can kind of get into any style of music if someone really asks me to.
She's got a killer disco beat in her repertoire.
Oh wow!
I could do a dance beat.
I love it. So we'll be right back after a word from our sponsors. So the name of the band is The Problem with Kids Today.
Yep.
Where did you come up with that? How did you come up with that?
I don't even know, really. It just kind of came to me, it came to me in a dream. No, I don't know. We had a list of, exactly. We had a list of band names, and I guess that was just kind of the one that flowed the best and fit kind of what we were doing the best, I would say. And the only criteria for the name was we wanted the band, the Beatles, the Jam, the Who, the Problem with Kids Today. So I don't know. I guess I'm a big kid, and I've got problems. It all just started there, I think.
It's so unique, and that the problem with bands today is that it's so hard to find a name that isn't already taken.
Yeah, for sure. I think a lot of the lists that we had, we went and looked through them, and it was like, that's taken. But the problem with Kids Today was not. So that was definitely a big deciding factor.
When you get into your band name being sentence fragments, you're at an advantage because chances are no one else is taking it.
Totally. We also liked it because it could be, we could be the problem or we could be the kids, or so there was, a lot you could do with it.
I like that.
And with the today, it felt very, relevant always today.
Well, that's the thing, because it's always today. It's always the problem with kids today, no matter what generation's talking. It's always
exactly.
Kids today.
There will always be a problem.
And there will always be kids, and there will always be today.
Exactly.
I hope there's always today.
Yeah.
For today, there's today.
There may not be tomorrow, but there is always today.
Exactly.
So when it was just the duo, did you guys record anything and release anything, or was it just home stuff?
Yeah, we had, I think it was like 5 albums or something that we did like in a year and a half. Cause like,
oh my God.
Yeah. Well, we had just graduated high school basically, and it was like, what are we going to do? Like, I don't know. Like we didn't really go to college or anything. So it was like, we just practiced like every day and wrote songs every day. And then it was like, might as well put them on the internet, and like whatever, like 10 people listen to them, but it was still like, it was good practice for getting into more like serious recording that we want people to listen to,
I don't want the world to go in end just yet. I remember what you said on the day that we met in my room. I know what you're going through. I just want to say, before it is too late, that I would spend my time with you. My heart is all black and blue. I don't know what I should do. I feel alright when I'm.
And did you guys do all the recording yourself at home?
Yeah, we actually did. We just did it on GarageBand, actually. It's you can still hear it. It's actually on Spotify and all that streaming stuff. But yeah, it's pretty, pretty raw, but for not having any experience, I think it was pretty all right.
Yeah.
Well, honestly, that's perfect for punk music because punk music grew out of that DIY attitude, let's get it out there, and if we have to do it ourselves, we'll do it ourselves, whether it's the writing, the recording, everything. Let's do it on our own.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we didn't think much of it other than just it's like what we wanted to do, and it was fun, and we had no limitations, and it was just good wholesome fun. So that's where it all started.
Where were you guys getting inspiration from? I mean, you said, I know you just had gotten out of high school and all. Was punk what you were listening to? I mean, or were you taking influences from other genres? Because I know there's, music is a lot different than when when I was just coming out of high school, it was you had to buy the CD or the cassette or the vinyl. There was no streaming. So now there's so much at your fingertips. I find that a lot of people will play one style of music, but they're influenced by so many others. Is that the case with you guys, or are you strictly punk music?
We're all over the place. We got a pretty eclectic taste, I would say. Everything from, punk and hardcore to, classic rock, and we even like musicals and stuff like that.
Oh wow.
So yeah, we're like musical kind of guys too.
We saw Wicked.
We're gonna be in line for Wicked too.
Wow.
But I think the big stuff for Silas and I, we liked like indie rock, and like even as funny as it sounds, like guys like Mac DeMarco and stuff like that were like huge for us, and just kind of to be like, this guy can do it, maybe so can we, And I think punk almost came a little bit later, maybe more when we were starting this band. But yeah, no, we kind of bounce all over the place for sure.
That's awesome. I mean, it kind of shows, because your music isn't just, three chords in a cloud of dust kind of a thing. I hear a lot of interesting influences in the way you're playing and what you're playing. And so that's why I was curious, because I know a lot of people, like I said, I don't know if it's the case as much anymore. It definitely was when I was younger. It was people, they're purists. If you're going to play punk, all you listen to is punk. I'm going to listen to Fugazi and the Descendants and Minor Threat, and that's it. So
yeah. Honestly, I feel like we only play punk because we like to play fast. It wasn't more so like we were like in love with like the culture, or like obviously the music's great, but like it was more about like it was fun to play, and then we kind of grew from there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Sometimes I feel like we don't even fit in with that punk crowd sometimes. I almost feel like we're a little bit more like niche or something, just because we've always just said we write the music that we write, like we don't really like try to sound like anything. I think just whatever comes out of us. I think it is definitely a blend of all our inspirations kind of, and just our own unique kind of thing going on as well.
Well, in speaking with you guys, just in the short time we've been talking, you definitely have a not what I grew up knowing as the typical punk attitude, which a lot of anger, not talking to a lot of people, not, you guys are smiling, you're chatty, which is fantastic for a podcast. Trust me.
Yeah.
And we're
goofballs, We're big goofballs at the core.
Yeah. We just like to have fun. It's kind of like, why are we doing this if we're not having fun? You know what I mean? Like, we're not going to be like touring like the world like John Mayer or something. So let's just do what we do and have fun. You know what I mean?
That you bring up a good point. So I wanted to find out about that. When the band gelled as the trio that you are now, how long was it before you guys started the first album, Junk? Was it a quick move from playing together to recording, or were you guys playing a lot of shows and taking your time to gel and create the music?
I think the first few, like we got Reena in with the purpose of like writing songs with her. So like the first practice that we did, we jammed a little bit, but it was mostly like, like still how we practice now, like showing each other songs and kind of just like learning songs together. Okay. It was in the middle of COVID, so like the shows didn't start to come till like a few months later. But I think after 6 or 7 months, we were starting to get in the studio.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we had a really, honestly, a bit of a unique start because of COVID, where there was no playing live, so it really almost gave us just a perfect opportunity to write and record, and almost become a band and not even miss a beat when music came back, kind of, in 2021. So COVID was definitely really bad, but for us, it was, it worked out pretty well because it just gave us, really a fair amount of time to just hone in our sound and what we wanted to do, and as soon as 2021 kicked off, we were just ready to go and played a lot right in the beginnings. So that was definitely pretty cool.
I can empathize with that because, I've been doing this podcast for like 7 years now or so. And COVID was awesome for the podcast. Everybody was available. Nobody,
totally.
Nobody was going anywhere. It wasn't like, hey, I'm on tour. We'll have to do it when I come back. Everybody was like, yeah, let's talk because I got nothing else going on.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you guys have a writing process? I mean, is everybody writing together, or Tate, are you bringing in just the lyrics, or is there one main songwriter? How do you guys create these songs?
So pretty much, Silas and I will write separately, like on our own. We'll come up with just like, chord progressions and songs and stuff. And once we have that, we'll usually bring them into the shed, which is where we rehearse and record it, actually. But we write on our own, and then we kind of come together and show each other the ideas. And if they stick, they'll usually become songs. And I think it's usually like whoever writes it sings it, and but more lately we've been kind of like writing more as a group, but I think it's kind of like we write on our own, bring it into the rehearsal space, and then Reena will craft a beat, under it. So we're definitely all writing, but I think kind of writing on our own and then bringing it in together, I would say. But yeah, Silas and I write most of the songs.
We'll be right back after a word from our sponsors. So on the debut LP Junk, so that came out in 2021, and I really like the raw feel of it. Was that something that you guys did on your own? Was that in the shed, or was that done somewhere else?
So that was actually done at our friend Sam Carlson's studio, which is actually right down the street from here in New Haven.
Oh, nice.
And that was our first real, foray into the studio. And it was awesome. That was one of the best times making a record. It just happened like really easy, and Sam totally caught on quick. And he's always been a big help in this band. And but that was in like a pretty real studio for the first time. Yeah.
Well, the opener, You're in Love with Junk, is awesome, but I think my favorite on the album is the chill one. Rip It Off is really good too. I love that solo. That is awesome.
Thank you. Yeah, the chill one's cool, man. We haven't played that one in a while, but that one's definitely a little different vibe for us. That's a good one.
Yeah, exactly. Which is what I was saying. Which is why I was curious as to what you guys listen to, because that is kind of a bit of a left turn as far as sound and structure.
Yeah, that one's a little more indie rock or something like that. Yeah, that one's cool. That's a Silas number right there. Chill one.
So the second LP though, you guys took a different approach, didn't you? I mean, that was more of almost like a, I don't want to say polished studio album, because it's definitely still a raw punk sound, but that one was if I'm remembering what I read correctly, that you guys had more of a formal studio experience with that one, I think.
Yeah, for sure.
We went to the Studio Q division in Boston, which is like, it's like giant. It's probably like a $2 or $3 million studio. It's huge. Wow. It's got all this like fancy gear. We got in there because Tate's dad knew the manager from like back in the New Haven days. But yeah, we had like a producer like attached to it, Adam Lassis, who like is like he's like an indie rock, punk rock kind of producer from the 80s and 90s. But it was it was definitely like a big step up. We felt a little like small fish in a pond or something.
Right.
It was a little intimidating at first, but we got to get used to it.
Yeah, it was very high end stuff, and I think we're probably some of the more like raw stuff they ever did at that studio.
So, did you like the experience? Because the new album has gone back to more of a DIY approach. So, was there a lot of hands in the? I'm mixing my metaphors. I was gonna say hands in the pie, but I don't know. Was there a lot of chefs in the kitchen doing that one?
Not really. I just felt like it was less, it was less hands-on, which is cool, but not really. I think what we like.
I mean, for you guys, it was less hands-on.
Yeah, there was an engineer, and then the producer, they did a lot of the mixing and would send us stuff, and we had to send notes. And this time it was we were just in the room with the guy who recorded this time, actually physically mixing, getting our hands on the board. It felt a little bit more immediate and a little bit more gratifying, and I felt a little bit more attached to the final product this time than last time, where it's kind of okay, we did this, then 9 months later we got some mixes, and then a year later it was ready to be released.
Yeah.
Okay. It was still a great time though. We love the experience. I don't think we'll ever get to do something like that again, because it's a big crazy studio, so I like the experience for what it was.
Well, yeah, we put a lot of pressure on ourselves too on that one, and which was intense for sure, and we pretty much moved into the studio for 2 weeks, 1 week at one point, then we went back for another week, and I think we just I don't even know how to say it. Maybe lost sight of almost what we were doing, kind of, because it was we're just trying to make it our very best, and we put a lot of time and effort and money into that record, and I don't know. I think it just inspired us to kind of go back to basics with this new one. I mean, both records I'm happy with, and both of them were cool experiences on their own for sure. But this one was a lot less pressure, which I like,
So Born to Rock was the second. Is that the first time you guys actually went out on a supporting tour? I think you guys toured with somebody.
It was like a tour, It was just kind of
air quotes.
Yeah, five little shows, around
that's still pretty good, man.
Yeah, it was good. It was fun. We loved it, honestly, and we're trying to do more stuff like that because I think we really, honestly, thrived out on the road.
Yeah. Well, it's tough. We do a lot of out-of-state shows, but it's always okay, beginning of June, we're going to New York. Then, in August, we'll go up to Burlington. It's, really spread out. And, we haven't had a chance to, do, 5 days straight again, which is where it's fun, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. So, I think that album is really awesome. What else could I say? It's definitely my favorite off of that LP.
Oh, thanks.
What else could I say? Hadn't been said already before. 'Cause now it's too late. You gone away and you locked on the door. God, give me a sign. I can't feel like this the rest of my life. I wanted to hate.
Yeah, that one's cool. That one's also a little more indie rock.
Yes,
or
you
something.
So you see where I'm leaning towards. So
yeah, hell yeah.
When you and I were messaging earlier in the day, I did admit that punk is not my wheelhouse, really. It's despite the Descendants T-shirt I'm wearing. This was a gift from a friend. So, so I did see them once, though.
what's your favorite kind of music? What's like your favorite bands and stuff?
Man, for me, well, I grew up as a huge Led Zeppelin fan. I grew up in the 80s and 90s. Went to college in the early 90s. So grungy stuff is more my wheelhouse.
Oh, that's Reena too. Yeah.
Oh, I love grunge.
Oh, when I was
I get a lot of inspiration from grunge.
Oh,
yeah.
That's awesome because I went to college in '91, right when it was breaking. So I was listening to Alice in Chains, Pearl Jam, Soundgarden, all that stuff when it was breaking, and it was an amazing time for music. Now, I mean, I do love like more 90s psychedelic stuff. I love shoegaze. One of my favorite bands of all time is The Verve, and but I love their first two albums way better than the album that exploded, Urban Hymns. That exploded, and I was like, it's a lot more radio friendly than the early stuff. So
yeah, totally.
Right now, my favorite band, maybe of all time, maybe surpassing Led Zeppelin, is Black Rebel Motorcycle Club.
Oh, no way. Very cool. Are you a BJM fan, the Brian Jonestown?
Yes, I've had Ricky Mimey on the podcast.
No way. Oh my God.
Yeah,
That's one of our big newer favorite bands for sure.
Oh,
and Dig. We love the movie Dig.
Yes. I had Pete Holmstrom from Dandy Warhols on too, so.
No way. Oh my God. That's so awesome.
Yeah, dude, I'm releasing an episode hopefully tomorrow because I'm behind this week, but it'll be like episode 440 something, I think. So I've had a buttload of people on. Black Rebel Motorcycle Club too. Leah and Pete from BRMC are friends of mine because they've been on the podcast a few times.
Oh my God, no way.
Yeah, and it's really cool because it's ranged from everybody from, indie guys like yourselves to like the guitarist from Bush. He's a buddy of mine.
Oh, no way.
I'm working on, and I'm actually texting the keyboardist for Guns N' Roses, trying to get him on because...
Wow. Oh my God.
He did I'm putting together an album for charity, and it's about to be released, and he contributed a track to it. It's the Spinal Tap covers album, and it's all...
No way. Oh my God. That's so awesome.
I've got like 35 tracks on it. So the original soundtrack was 11 songs, and I've got 35. So I've got...
Damn, dude, no way. We just saw the new 4K Spinal Tap in the theater the other week.
Me too. Yeah. So any chance I get to promote this thing, I'm going to. So it's going to charity. It's going to support the Who's Teen Cancer America charity. So it helps provide money for the comfort for teens and young adults who are going through cancer treatments. So
we're doing an interview.
Yeah, dude. Hell yeah, man. That sounds awesome. Dude, we're doing a little interview. Here's our buddy Matt right here.
Hey, Matt.
Killer Ken.
Hey.
He can jump in.
I'm a big fan of this band.
I am too now.
They absolutely rule.
That's awesome.
Lyrics about them.
Dude, yes.
When I was in Europe, I was giving them shout outs. That's all I'm
gonna say. Dude. Matt's in a sick band called Killer Kin.
Oh. Well, reach out. We'll have to do We'll have to do a podcast then.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Tate, you're going to have to get us in touch with each other so that we can get that in the books.
Oh yeah, dude. I definitely will, man.
Awesome.
For sure. You would love these guys. They rock, dude.
Excellent. Well, I'll tell you one of the coolest things about this is one of the bands that I helped put together. I got a little super group together. So it's the song Big Bottom, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I've got that covered a couple of times, and one of the bands that's doing it is a band that's got Scott Reeder from Caius on one bass, Justin Chancellor from Tool on another bass.
Whoa.
Let's see, Abby Travis from the Bangles and the Go-Go's on a third bass.
Oh damn!
Troy Sanders from Mastodon. He's doing the vocals.
Nice.
The drums are Kelly Scott from Failure, and the keyboard is Rami Jaffe from Foo Fighters.
Damn, dude, that's insane. What?
It is amazing. It is incredible.
That's gonna have some serious low end on it. I can already feel it.
Oh yeah, it's just unbelievable. So
Big bottom.
once it comes out, now this is and this is for everybody. This is going to be a limited release. Because we've gotten the rights for free from Sony and Universal. They're letting us put this out, and we don't have to pay for the rights at all. But
That's awesome.
It's limited to 5,000 downloads only on Teen Cancer America's website. It's going to be a donation to help raise money for the kids. So it's going to be I think we're going to try to do it like a sliding scale where you can donate. It's going to be 35 tracks. So I'm going to put a minimum on it of like $20. So
nice, dude. Hell yeah.
So that way
sounds right up our alley.
Awesome. Well, you guys have a new album coming out, and by the time this episode is released, it will be out. So it's called Take It. And like you said, you guys went back to the shed to record this, and this is even more punk than the first album, because you guys put everything together to do this, right?
Yeah.
Yep. We worked with our friend Joe Lemieux. He was kind of like the engineer and like the producer on it. He just kind of came over to my house where the shed is located, and just set up a bunch of mics, and we just kind of did it together. You know, it was a fun project, but it actually turned out surprisingly better than we ever would have thought, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
We a few years ago we did a live session with Joe, like for his like YouTube channel, and like since then he was like, man, the shed sounds so great, like blah blah, if you guys ever want to record in there, like let me know. And it was kind of like, okay, yeah, sure. When it came time to it was like, are you serious? Do you really want to do it? And he was like, yes. So yeah, it was nice. It was awesome.
So did you guys have the music ready to go when you started recording, or were you recording as you were writing?
Yeah, we had it. We had it ready to go. We practiced basically all last summer, getting the songs like really tight, and then we recorded it over the course of a few days in October.
It's got a super classic punk sound. Are you guys using vintage instruments, or is that something that you guys are working on?
Just kind of like vintage guitars, I guess, but the amps are all pretty new. Okay. But yeah, I think
you have that Rick used a lot.
Yeah, I got a Rickenbacker recently, and that was kind of like
is that the one in the photos?
Yeah. Oh. That's my new daily driver.
That is gorgeous. I love Rickenbackers. That is beautiful.
Oh yeah, dude. They're like the best guitars ever.
Oh, they're absolutely gorgeous. And some of them are enormous. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. I wasn't ready for that when I got it. It was like, oh man, this thing's a lot bigger than my Les Paul.
Oh my gosh. So, when you're recording and working on the production, is everybody putting their opinions in on the sound, or is it like, all right, this is Tate, this is you're gonna figure out the sound, or Silas, we're gonna just trust you with it, or is everybody putting their 2 cents in?
Everyone's encouraged to like give their input, but we mostly leave it up to like if it's like the bass tone, like the final say, I guess, would be with like me and like Joe, or if it's a guitar tone, the final say would be like with Tate and Joe. Okay. But everyone's encouraged to like say what they think. You know what I mean?
Yeah. A lot of it also just happened kind of naturally. It was just the natural sound we got in the shed, and it was like, I like how that sounds. Let's just leave it.
That is awesome. See, that's punk rock. I love that.
Yeah, exactly.
So the whole album is awesome, but there are some songs that just stand out for me, like "Feeling All Right." That is great.
Thank you.
SpongeBob SquarePants and Patrick Star cracked me up.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah. That's a little bit of the goofier side of us,
I can tell. That is amazing.
just like me. We always hang out when I'm watching TV.
But I'll tell you, the two that I want to hear live, I'm hoping you guys get a chance to come down to the DC area so I can check out a show. But
Yeah.
I want to hear Nothing to Say, because I think that is my favorite on the album.
The sun is hanging over me, far as the eye can see, and I don't think I'll be happy, not for a long, long time. Every day I'm so ashamed, there's no one here left to blame. Thinking back on yesterday, I wish you were by my side. It's too late, I'm running away. DK, I got nothing to say.
Oh, nice.
And right behind that is No Fun.
Oh, yeah. The ender.
Yeah, and that the single line, the single string line you playing on that is just awesome. It's almost like
nice.
it's almost like got a Western feel to it. I think it's really cool.
Totally. Oh, hell yeah. Yeah, that one, those are two good ones. I think right now, today, Nothing to Say just came out, and we're going to play it for the first time live tonight. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so
I Don't Know was the first single, though, right?
Yeah, I Don't Know is the first single, yep.
So are you pulling songs from each album, or are you when you're playing live, are you concentrating on new stuff?
Sort of. Mostly new stuff. I'd say majority, with like a few like ones that we always kind of play, like classics,
Okay.
from like the older stuff.
Do you have plans to take this on the road? Is that something you're working on, or is there something set that people can look forward to hearing you out on the road?
A little bit. We're that's kind of been the hardest thing for us as a band, is just getting out there. We've just kind of done little one-offs and stuff, but hopefully sooner rather than later we'll get on the road, and start coming out to these other states and stuff. We have one show coming up in Burlington, Vermont. We're going to be playing at the college out there, UVM. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So we'll see. That might be cool. But hopefully soon. That's all we want to do is tour and rock.
I want to see you guys so badly. Like, you got to get down to DC, man. Home of Fugazi, Minor Threat, Bad Brains.
Yeah, dude. Right. That seems like the place for us, man.
Yeah. Well, and I'll tell you a secret. There are a ton of places to play in DC. Smaller venues that are just perfect for up and coming bands.
Dude, hell yeah. For you, Mark, we're coming, man. We'll make it happen.
Excellent. Well, there's places like the Pocket, the Pie Shop. There's Pie Shop is great because you actually get pie.
Yeah. Our buddy Matt's saying we should hit the Pie Shop. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I've heard of the Pocket too. Yeah. The Pocket looks cool too.
The Pocket is good. The Pocket's really small, but it's got a great atmosphere. And it basically, it's like if you go into a townhouse, it's like going into a townhouse and the stage is the second story of the townhouse. It's really wild.
Yeah, no way. That's crazy.
Yeah, you walk up the stairs and then you turn around. There's a bar right in front of you, and you turn around and where somebody's living room would be, it's a stage with open like a basically just a pit.
Damn,
that's awesome. It's a really cool place. I've only been there a couple of times, but it's a fun place for bands to play. I do a lot of concert photography in the area, and it's not a fun place to shoot a show because I'm getting the shit knocked out of me.
Totally. Yeah.
But it's a fun place to listen to a show, and it looks like a fun place to play because I'm not a musician, so I've never done that. So I would have to assume it's a great place to play. But
yeah, we have a friend who lives out there who plays in a band called Pink House, I think they're called, and he was telling us we should definitely hit up the Pocket. That would be a good spot for us.
Oh yeah, the Pocket and like I said, the Pie Shop, because they actually sell pie and it's good.
Oh, no way.
Yes.
Damn. Now we gotta go.
What is the best way for people to find the music and support you guys and maybe request a show?
Yeah.
The best place to find the music is like any streaming service. We're on like all of them, I think. If they ever want to talk to us, the DMs are open, or they can email us or anything like that, you know?
Excellent.
We're easy to get a hold of.
Yeah, we're on our phones a lot, so.
So what are the social media handles? What's the best ones to use to find you?
You can follow us on Instagram at The Problem with Kids Today. One big word.
Wow. I'm surprised that they let you go that many
I
letters.
know. It's probably the longest handle on Instagram.
And is the music available on Bandcamp to purchase? Is there any physical copies coming out?
Yeah. It's going to be on Bandcamp too. Yeah. So you could purchase it on there, and we're going to be selling like CDs and shirts on there and stuff. And you can email us to play gigs and stuff. I think it's also just The Problem with Kids Today at Gmail.
Excellent. Well, I love hearing that the CDs are coming out, because that's my wall of CDs right there.
Oh, let's go.
It's good collection.
Yeah, Mark, I'll send you one for sure, man.
Oh, sweet. Oh, I got more over there. And more right there. And some on the floor. And some over there.
Damn, the complete collection.
I got almost 4,000 CDs at this point. So.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
Yeah, most of them were promos that I bought See, back when I was talking to Reena, back in the 90s when I started really getting into music, there was an amazing record store near my house called the Princeton Record Exchange, and they would get promo albums from Princeton's college radio station. They would Princeton's radio station would trade them, and they would get like 50 cents for the CDs, and then Princeton Record Exchange would sell them for like $1. So I'm
no way.
Yeah, so I'm like I would say 80% of my collection I got for like $5 or less. So
wow, that's sick. No way, dude.
I know you guys are getting ready to hop on the stage here in under 30 minutes, so I won't keep you much longer, but I wanted to thank you guys for taking the time out of a day you're playing a show to talk to me for the podcast. It's awesome. I really do appreciate that.
Thanks for having us, man.
Thanks for having us. This was great.
Knocking at my door, disillusions. What you waiting for? If I want something, I can't get it off my chest. I don't wanna end up feeling like the rest. It's the same old story you don't wanna hear. It's the morning glory. Have another beer. I don't feel nothing. I can't even see my breath. I'll look for something till there's nothing left. This position keeps on haunting me. Each decision